Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the channel. We're still getting some unseasonably cool weather here in Nebraska. Feels like fall, rainy, drizzly, kind of weird for August. But we've got some stuff going on later this afternoon. There's a big tractor pull up at the fairgrounds, and we're going up to help with that because I'm on the fair board up there. So we have to leave about noon for that. So we're going to take advantage of the cool weather this morning, get some stuff picked in the garden. Our onions need to be harvested, and there's some gigantic zucchini that need to come out of there. So let's get after it before we get too busy. So I got to go grab some stuff out of the barn. I need the wheelbarrow and then a piece of wire mesh we got out there. Alright, we got the wheelbarrow for the onions, and then also got a piece of this wire mesh. I saw something on the internet the other day where somebody was just setting their onions through the wire mesh with the tops hanging down. We're going to give that a try. I thought that was a pretty good idea. So we just got to get out to the garden and pull our onions. They're ready to go. Here is the onion patch in the garden. You can see we've been pulling onions out as needed. And we've got onions clear into the pumpkins. We'll have to dig out of the pumpkin patch over there. So let's start getting these pulled up. Got red ones over here on the north side of this row. You can see how big these onions are. We'll get both varieties pulled as we go down the row here. Look at the size of these beautiful onions. Awesome, just like my dad used to grow. Let you see on these onions how easy they come out of the ground. That's because just the roots are pretty much in the dirt. When we planted those, we planted just the roots of the plants into the dirt, and then the onions were in the mulch. And the onions having that room in that loose mulch, the bulbs are able to get humongous. Look at Kelly's giant beet. That thing's crazy big too. Pretty awesome. Well, the pumpkins are grown this far in or over into the onion patch. They were planted over here and grew clear over there. We've been trimming them on the sides here so we can get through to the tomatoes. But these couple pumpkins plants have gone crazy. We've already got some pumpkins turning orange in there. I don't know if you can see that pumpkin there. Got quite a few pumpkins in this patch for sure. We've got our wheelbarrow full of onions. Let's take them over to the shop and get them going. Found a red tomato out here that split because of the rain, but you can see this variety's got tons of green tomatoes in here. We're hoping that with this unseasonably cool weather that we're still going to get some red ones. I got a couple more red ones down here I can pick. Hopefully they'll keep turning red. You can see all the big holes where the onions were. We've got our other later onion bed over here doing really well. These are going to be some nice onions too. I believe these are all purples. Alright, we've started hanging our onions. This is how we're going to do it here. It's working out pretty well using every other kind of a checkerboard style square. Look at the size of these things. That's just insane how big that is. That's all of our yellows. So we'll start pulling the reds in. The reds never get as big as the yellows for some reason. We've got a few that are big enough, but most of them will probably fall through this. So we'll have to figure out another way to keep them up here. Well, we got all of our onions in here. Most of the reds fit. Some of them we put where there's little narrow slots on the end, and then I just threw a little piece of expanded metal on here to put the little tiny ones on. So we're real pleased with our onion harvest this year, and it's not over. We still have another row out there. But especially our yellow candy onions. These are both candy variety. These are yellow and red candy variety. But the yellows always do fantastic, as you can see. Just amazing onions. So if you're worried about the dirt on these, we leave the wet dirt on them and let these dry real good, and then that dirt just brushes right off, just like sand on your toes on the beach. Once it's dry, it shakes right off, and these tops down here will get good and dry, and then they'll store a lot better. And then once they're into their storage life, we'll start chopping them all up and putting them in the freezer or whatever's left. I use more yellow onions than I do red for cooking, because if you use the purple onions or the red onions for cooking, it kind of discolors your food, whereas the yellow and the white onions do not. But the purples are really good in fresh stuff like salads and pasta salads, potato salads, stuff like that. Gives it good color, and it doesn't discolor things because you're not cooking it. So let's go see what else Kelly's doing out in the garden. Kelly's got the Parisian carrots picked as well. Cute little round ones. The purples are purple dragons. What do you got here in the colander now?
This is the rooted part of the rooted parsley.
So you have a parsley variety that creates the bulb?
Yeah, all of it's edible. I'm just more impressed with our big Italy parsley than I am with this. So this is going to the chickens.
Yeah. So what do you do with the bulb part?
You can chop it up and use it in soups or however you would normally use parsley.
Is it a bitter flavor, or?
It tastes like parsley.
Oh, cool. Found some ripe tomatoes out there. A couple early San Marzano tomatoes. And with these bread and salt tomatoes, I find if you pick them a little early before they're all the way super red, they last a lot longer in the house. And you don't lose any tomato flavor by doing that. But we've got some tomatoes and jalapenos. I'm going to pick some culantro to make a nice salsa for my lunch today. All right, my friends, we got everything done at home. And we've got the tractor loaded up. You can probably see it back there behind me. Kelly's hauling the wagon. We're headed into the tractor pull. We'll show you a little bit of the tractor pull if you want to stick around and see it. So stay tuned. Alright folks, we made it home. The tractor pull started early at 2 o'clock, so we were able to get home in time. We've still got some stuff we'd like to do outside. I got to mow the yard for one. So hope you enjoyed the tractor pull, and I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us today, doing a little bit of stuff in the garden, seeing those fantastic onions we got. So stick around, come back soon. We're going to be doing lots more stuff here on the homestead. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here at Markelly Farm.